Commander, you are a Paladin, a champion of the light. Today, I'm going to show you how to play a Retribution Paladin the easy way, but before I do, let's go over how they work. For Rep Pallies, it's all about building up holy power and spending it on more powerful attacks. You can build up to 5 holy power using the following abilities in order of priority. First is Hammer of Wrath, which you can use when your enemy is at or below 35% health or your Avenging Wrath cooldown is active. Next, you'll keep Crusader Strike, Judgment, and Exorcism on cooldown. And note that occasionally you'll get an Art of War proc which will reset your Exorcism's cooldown. All 4 of these abilities generate holy power. Once you've built up 5 holy power, you'll want to spend it on Templar's Verdict, or Final Verdict if you've chosen that level 100 talent, which is recommended. Verdict only uses 3 holy power, but you want to try to wait until you have 5, unless all of your other abilities are on cooldown, in which case use it if you have 3 holy power available. Occasionally you will get a proc called Empowered Divine Storm, which allows you to cast a free Divine Storm, costing no holy power. This becomes your number 1 priority, but only after you've used Final Verdict, which doubles the damage and radius of Divine Storm. And lastly, if you've chosen Execution Sentence as your level 90 talent, you'll want to keep it on cooldown. This takes priority over most of your attacks. As for the AoE rotation, it's basically the exact same thing, except you'll use Hammer of the Righteous instead of Crusader Strike. And that's a very basic rundown of how to play a Rep Paladin. It's pretty simple, but we can make it even simpler. But keep in mind, this method is not for min-maxing. It's not for hardcore raiding. It's for casual play, or for people with disabilities like myself. You will need a mod called Gnome Sequencer, which can be found on WoW Interface. There will be a link in the description below. So download it, unzip it, and place it in your add-ons folder. Now to make things easier, I have provided a file containing all of my macros designed for Gnome Sequencer. You can find a link to it in the description below. The file is called sequences.lua, so download it and place it in the Gnome Sequencer folder that you just put in your add-ons folder. If you followed all these steps correctly, you're ready to log into the game and create the macros. Now that you have Gnome Sequencer set up with my sequences file, you are ready to begin making macros in game. It is important that you give the macros the names that I tell you, and that you do not put any text in the macro field. Just name them and place them on your action bar, and Gnome Sequencer will do the rest. The first macro should be called Ret-S, one word. This stands for Ret Single Target. This will cast all the abilities in your rotation, including Final Verdict. It'll even keep your Avenging Wrath and Trinkets on cooldown. It'll also switch to Seal of Truth if it's not already activated. The only ability that you need to keep separate is Divine Storm, because of the Empowered Divine Storm proc. Otherwise, it would compete with Final Verdict, messing up your rotation. The next macro should be called Ret-A, standing for Ret AoE. This does the exact same thing but for your AoE rotation. It'll also switch to Seal of Righteousness if that seal is not already activated. These macros work just fine, but there are 2 other macros you can use if you want to have more control over spending your holy power. These macros should be called Ret-SB, which stands for Ret Single Target Builder, and Ret-AB, which stands for Ret AoE Builder. These macros do the exact same thing, except Final Verdict and Divine Storm have been left out. You'll be able to cast those abilities separately, giving you more control over spending your holy power. This method is a lot more effective and you'll do a lot more damage this way. And that's pretty much how I play a Retribution Paladin. If you're interested, feel free to give it a try. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that like button, or even the favorite button. And if you found it informative, perhaps you'd like to inform your friends by sharing it with them. And don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see future videos on this channel. Thanks for watching, have a wonderful day, this is TheKephas, until next time.